Hi guys, it's Mrs. Colson. We are going to read our final, one of our final Eric Carle stories. We'll do this one for Thursday and then we'll see about Friday. But I thought this would be an interesting one to read. Number one, I actually haven't spent a lot of time with this story, and I don't know if you've ever read it before, but I thought it would be a fun one to read. And it's called Roosters Off to See the World. Now, once again, true to Eric Carle, he has an interesting way of writing his story. So I want you to pay attention and see if you notice what he does in this story that you might be able to connect to other stories that he's written where he uses kind of the same techniques. So, of course, this is called Roosters Off to See the World, written and illustrated by Eric Carle, and it says, One fine morning, a rooster decided that he wanted to travel. So right then and there, he set out to see the world. He hadn't walked very far when he began to feel lonely. I want you to pay attention right here. Just then he met two cats. The rooster said to them, "Come along with me to see the world." The cats liked the idea of a trip very much. "We would love to," they purred, and set off down the road with the rooster. So one rooster, two cats. How many animals total is that now? As they wandered on, the rooster and the cats met three frogs. "How would you like to come with us to see the world?" asked the rooster, eager for more company. "Why not?" answered the frogs. "We are not busy now." So the frogs jumped along behind the rooster and the cats. So there were three animals. There was a rooster and two cats. And now we've added three frogs. So how many animals are traveling now? Think about that. After a while, the rooster, the cats, and the frogs saw four turtles crawling slowly down the road. "Hey," said the rooster, "how would you like to see the world?" "It might be fun," snapped one of the turtles, and they joined the others. So if we had 6 animals, we just added 4 turtles. That would be... Here we go. As the rooster, the cats, the frogs, and the turtles walked along, they came to 5 fish swimming in the brook. "Where are you going?" asked the fish. "We're off to see the world," answered the rooster. "May we come along?" pleaded the fish. "Delighted to have you," the rooster replied. And so the fish came along to see the world. So if you had the rooster, the 2 cats, the 3 frogs, that makes 6. You add the 4 turtles, so 6 plus 4 is 10, because we know that that's a 10 buddy. And then we add the 5 fish. Now we have 10 plus 5, which is a total of, you're telling me right now, 15. So now we have how many total animals traveling to see the world? The sun went down. It began to get dark. The moon came up over the horizon. "Where's our dinner?" asked the cats. "Where are we supposed to sleep?" asked the frogs. "We're cold," complained the turtles. Just then some fireflies flew overhead. "We're afraid," cried the fish. Now the rooster had not made any plans for the trip around the world. He had not remembered to think about food and shelter, so he didn't know how to answer his friends. After a few minutes of silence, the fish decided that it might be best if they headed for home. They wished the others a happy trip and swam away. So we had 15 animals total, and the 5 fish swam away. So if we add 15 and we take away 5, now what are we back to? Let's look at our corner. So the 5 fish are going. So I wonder, can you predict what's going to happen next? I want you to think about it. Okay? Then the turtles began to think about their warm house. They turned and crawled back down the road without so much as a goodbye. So now we had 10, and the 4 turtles decided to go. So 10 minus 4 puts us back to, if you're not sure, count the animals in the corner. There are 6 now. That's an interesting pattern. Uh-oh. Here's what happens next. The frogs weren't too happy with the trip anymore either. First one and then the other, and finally the last one jumped away. They were polite enough, though, to wish the rooster a good evening, and they disappeared into the night. So we had 6. The 3 frogs jumped away, and now we have 3 left over. The cats then remembered an unfinished meal they had left behind. They kindly wished the rooster a happy journey, and they too headed for home. Now the rooster was all alone, and he hadn't seen anything of the world. He thought for a minute, and then he said to the moon, "To tell you the truth, I am not only hungry and cold, but I'm homesick as well." The moon did not answer. It too disappeared. The rooster knew what he had to do. He turned around and went back home again. He enjoyed a good meal of grain and then sat on his very own perch. After a while, he went to sleep and had a wonderful, happy dream, all about a trip around the world. The end. All right, so Eric Carle uses a really cool pattern in his story as we read through. As you think about it, it starts again with the 1, so it starts with 1 rooster. Then we're doing a little bit of addition and subtraction here because then we add 2 cats. So if you add 1 and you add 2, then your total becomes 3. So now we have 3 animals. But then the 3 frogs show up. So now we have 3 plus 3. And what does that equal, boys and girls? It equals 6. You're saying it. And then it goes on from there. Once we get the total amount of animals, remember we had 15 total, and then the 5 fish decide that they're going to go home. So now we start to subtract. So we have 15, and then we take away 5, and that puts us at 10. So I want you to pay attention to that today because one of the activities you're going to do with this story has to do with that pattern. So pay attention to that. And have fun with the activities in the book today. We'll talk to you guys soon.